Good morning, Scott Russell. I want to talk about glimmers of hope today. They can just be, really. They can, can't they? And I was thinking about God with us and how he operates, his love, the way he manifests his love to us. Because I think the way the world is right now, there's just so much chaos, so much turmoil, just so much craziness. And so many of us have been abused by life, abused by religion, abused by ourselves. And we don't know what's right, what's wrong. I mean, we want to make a good decision. We feel a pull in our heart, but we don't know what to do. And often I think when we get that way, we become incapacitated. And so we don't respond. And when God's reaching to us, or something's reaching to us that potentially could be right. And I think for me, I'm going to use romance as an example because I think that's how God views us, how things flow down from God. And when we're in God, the way those things happen. I know for me often, even recently, there's some directions I headed in, and as I've done that, it's been fear, pardon me, in many ways, and I don't get a lot of fear. I've lived a pretty extreme life, and I've sort of learnt through my fear that I feed on the fear at times, instead of letting it feed on me. And so, I'll feel something, maybe nervousness, but to actually have fear has been something that's foreign to me. But I think you always come up against one situation or one thing that just gives you fear. Now, it's not a fear that's unhealthy. It's actually, pardon me, it's actually a fear that I think brings you life, a fear that provokes a response. You have to act. You have to do something, because if you don't, it's just you die. And that is a beautiful fear. And then I think that fear also comes with knowing that often there's a safe place that you can be in, a safe place that is non-judgmental, non-pressured, it's just on God's timing, God's agenda. And sometimes I know at the beginning of this path that God would put me in situations that I couldn't control, and I think that's the key, right? You can't control an outcome. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. We can lay awake at night and try to figure things out, but to me, I think what's important in freedom is to just say, follow the peace. Follow the peace. And when something is got peace in it, I head in that direction. When something has, peace. Now, behind that, surrounding that peace, there can be a bunch of fear, saying, don't do it, no, what if, this could happen again, you could end up in whatever. And ultimately, though, when I step back, and that's why I walk a lot, I get out on the beach. It's a good place to go, when you're trying to decide. Get out on the beach and don't make a decision. Just walk. And empty yourself. Empty of all the stress. Empty of all the control, the betrayals, the fear of what if, and talk to God. And when you're talking to him, you just sort of say, God, what do you have for my life? God, where's the peace? I don't need to know an outcome. I just need to know where the peace is for my life, and I'm going to step in that direction. And I think with romance, it's a good thing, because as God does that, I get scared of God. He reaches his hand towards me, and unconditional love doesn't make sense to my brain. How can you love this? How can you love what the world has not wanted? How can you love what's got to my age in life and failed at life? And he just sits silently, says, I love you. He doesn't even say it, he just does. And I think that's true with all relationships. When God's heart's involved in it, we just sit silently and you wait. because you know that it's okay. And sometimes there's a lot of confusion, a lot of things that have to be dealt with, sorted out, figured out. But follow the peace. Follow the peace. And I've found that as I've just taken micro steps towards God, as I just sort of say, God, I'm scared, I don't know, but I'll take a micro step. And if I get there and it's wrong and it's not right and it feels horrible, then I've lost my peace and I back away. The worst thing we can do is just become incapacitated by life. Stop and say, all right, I'm not moving because I just don't know. You always, when you get to that point, you know you're in control of it, and you want something to be, but you're scared that what if it's not? So I wanted to just reassure today. It's a general sort of video. Reassure today that as you're stepping out in yourself, just know that there's so much support there for you in prayer and in just people that believe in you, a God that smiles at you, and his people, his man, his woman that smiles at you and just says, take your time, just keep moving. Keep moving. We're not in a hurry here. We've got things for a lifetime. And, whatever the world throws at us, when it's love there, when it's God's way, it's endless, it's creative, it never stops in its beauty and never ceases to amaze. And I think in relationships, like God, he's a safe place for me, and I'm actually a safe place for him. He can be all he wants to be on this earth through me. I can be all I want to be on this earth through him, but without each other, it doesn't work. And I think that's what true romance, true love is, a safe place, somewhere I can say, you know what, I have fear, but for some reason I feel pulled, and when I come, I just feel I can be safe with you. I can be safe. And you know what? You're safe with me. Because there's nothing here that would ever use you, abuse you for anything. That's God with us. That's God with us. So just a quick little God message today. Just respond. Take your time, but respond. And when God puts out those little feelers, acknowledge and let him know, God, I know. I just need a little bit of time. Just need a little bit of time, God. But I'm not giving you silence, God, because I know if I give you silence, what benefits? I don't know what to say. So I'll just say, God, just give me some time. Absolutely fine. So God bless you. I love you bunches, all of you. Everybody on this Freedom page is just, I feel the love of who you are and what you could be. That's what excites me, what you could be.